All right, cyber traders, welcome on back here this Wednesday, July 28th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. Welcome on back, of course, for our afternoon meeting. I believe that we are good to go live inside the Cyber Group trading room. Great to see Lewis, Norman, David, Patrick, Larry. I see Kathy and William and Chuck. Great to see everybody. And for all of us in social media, Facebook Live and YouTube or Facebook Live, either way, however it may be, welcome on back. So with that in mind, let's hop right into the thick of it. We're coming off the Fed meeting right now, so we're seeing some wacky movement across the major indices. And in fact, I have the SPY ticker, the S&P ETF, on the 5-minute chart, so you could see shortly after 2 p.m. once they ended up making the official announcement of the rates being left unchanged, unanimous decision. We ended up seeing a bit of a dip, but then we'll call it a slingshot, a push back up. Doesn't always lead to continued direction upward going into the close. Actually, a lot of times coming off the Fed meeting, it's relatively lackluster. I hate to be the bearer of bad news there. Hopefully the opposite happens, right? Hopefully we see a nice big pop. If it's not across the index like the S&P, hopefully it's across a big stock here like the NAOV trade. And if it's not this, there's going to be another one I'll talk about right now, a stock that I'm currently in that's popping as I see it. So we'll start with this, the NAOV trade to begin, then we'll pretty much just go right through it. So this one's up 58% and counting, just dipping right now from the high of the day, 249. You would assume resistance to be at 250. So no surprise to see the shake. But, right now, definitely we'll put it on our list in hopes of this making a higher low and in hopes of this running back up. If it does not do that, then unfortunately the stock we can't short. So I would say if it craps out the other way, we could try and short it. Can't do that, and that's fine. But don't assume that this is going to run up perfectly, just because it's near the high still. This is exactly where we would like to see a stock like this at this time of the day. But again, we got to wait to see confirmation of more buying coming in for this to really get the gears going and break over that 250 level. I'm just quickly drawing a trend line here on my chart, very, very quickly and sloppily drawn, just to see where this is at in relation to its peaks. Ended up making a series of higher highs and ended up breaking this trend line here, but ended up coming right back down. Wouldn't shock me if it even holds right back under it, makes a lower high, and drops lower. But we'll see. It has great liquidity, really good spread, cheap. So, all of the makings of hopefully a beautiful runner into the close. All right, so the NAOV, will start putting that on our list. That's the top percent gainer right now. The one I wanted to jump to right away after, Tilray, TLRY, stock ended up coming out with earnings going into the market open today. I got to tell you, this is just me speaking personally, not for anyone else, because I know Fausto did really well on it. I know that he said that he wanted to do even better, but he did pretty well. I trade this stock off of news. When this stock moves, we call it out. I'm very familiar with this stock. And with the earnings that came out, I was pretty confident that it was going to run up. I have no idea why I hesitated and waited to pull the trigger on this, because, I guess it's more so the fact that after the market opened up, it really took off. Just within the first minute, just popped right away. And we normally don't trade the first, 3 to 5 minutes. So I knew I was sitting on my hands during that time anyway, but I was looking for a pullback. It never pulled back. I guess it did later on around 10:30, 11 o'clock Eastern time, dipped down to 15. I ended up getting in from there. I ran it up for 30 cents. I wish I could say I did a lot better even, but I am in this right now. I'm in from 16. My afternoon has been very choppy, and not to say down. Literally break-even trades galore. Probably about, I don't have the tally on me, but probably 20 trades since 10:30 Eastern time. And that's not a good thing, but it's to say that I'm trying to catch some good trades here. And finally, I'm in this Tilray from the 16 breakout. I was actually in from 1580 earlier. I ended up wasting that profit because I thought it was going to pop and run at that point. Ended up making a lower high, came back down. I napped 7 cents on it, but still I wanted a lot more. And then after that, it was very choppy to the point where it would pop over 16 and I jump in. And then it drops back below 16 and I take a -1 or a break even exactly. So I took a lot of those heading into this afternoon meeting. And now finally, I'm back in the trade. I set up a stop limit to get in should it pop over 16. And I'll manage this trade as we go through this meeting. Hopefully I don't waste this profit, but I got my stop set at a minimum. So Tilray now with the buying that came in over 16, I'm definitely more hopeful now than I was even earlier for this to run up higher, pop over 1650, perhaps into the afternoon. I don't really see a major iceberg order out there, so I would assume your next major level, unless if this crashes right back below 16 here, I would assume for it to be 1650. All right. So we'll see where this Tilray trade takes us. Definitely going to put this on our, keep it on our list right now for the close. All right. All right, so we talked about the NAOV trade number 1. I wanted to, skip the queue and go to Tilray here, but we'll go right back to the top, go right from top to bottom now. At this point, the INFI trade, wow, this thing ended up making a nice pop just now, but it was more from the market open that we ended up trading the stock. Ended up making the slingshot, not from 2, but more so like 210. Ended up breaking back over its opening print right off of I think it was like 218, if not 219, and really from that point took off to the point where it ended up going up towards 260. But the bigger talking point, and we talk about this just every day in class, every day in the trading room, you can never not get enough of this. So it's to say that the opening bell print this morning, that 218, 219 price I had referenced just before, well, look at where this essentially dipped down to. I don't know if it kissed it and bounced right away. It probably broke below it and back above it. It hit a dip point here of like 216. So it basically ended up holding right over its opening bell print. And with that, I guess we're getting a bit of a pop back up on this trade, aren't we? So I'm normally not as keen to put a stock like INFI on our afternoon list where it's at now. Now, that's before this little pop here. So, maybe I'll come back to this at the end. I'll put this on the side list. If it ends up making a bigger push up, proving it's worth a bit more as an afternoon trade for us, then I'll put it on our list at that point. All right, we got FLGC. Wow, Flora Growth Corp. I don't know what the company does, but looks like a new ticker dating back to probably early to mid-June, where this stock ended up coming off IPO, ended up dropping off right away. And yeah, I don't know what news came out. I got a little time. I'll check out a little Benzinga Pro right now. I don't know really much about this stock, so I'll take a quick look to see why this stock's up 51% and counting. The FLGC trade. Let's see. Hopefully it's not lackluster. All right, so news came out more so yesterday morning. I guess some partnership with company Averia to distribute pain cream brands in Latin America, produce CBD formulations. Okay, that's interesting. No other headline for today as to why the stock exploded, but probably still reeling off of yesterday morning's news that came out at 7 a.m. yesterday. So, hey, right now it just seems so choppy. So I'd be really careful trying to look for that next breakout, that next pop, meaning that if it does pop, above the highs and break above resistance, I would set your stop pretty quickly, because otherwise, if you're on the wrong side of that trade, for as much as this is up, we just talked about it before on the NAOV trade. If it ends up making a false breakout or failing to break higher, it's not just going to stay here. It's going to go one of two directions, right? It's going to go up, it's going to go down. So it's just so choppy here. I'd be really careful on this trade unless if it could pop over the highs. And again, even if it does, still set your stop, manage the trade well in case if it does shake back down. But I'll put this on our list here. The FLGC, probably by the end of it all, will be near the bottom. All right, keep it going here. Keep it going. DAO, this stock, I don't know if it's one of the education companies here. DAO, I don't know, but ended up making a huge drop-off dating back to Thursday of last week, even Thursday, Friday overnight. My assumption is that it is linked with the others, like the EDU trade, TAL, just given the severity of that gap down. Again, could be wrong on that, but yeah, I don't know. Right now, getting back to that DAO trade, if anything, that seems to be a little bit sharper right now in its direction. It's up a lot more compared to the others here. Back on TAL, I guess. DAO. All right, so DAO. Liquidity kind of thin on this, much like it was on the FLGC. I don't know. I'll come back to this at the end, I guess. I like that FLGC is kind of built that flag, built that resistance. This is trending up nice, but I want to see this kind of hold where it is right now by the end of this meeting first. All right, my Tilray trade looking a lot better now. BTBT, I was really interested in this stock leading into the open. Unfortunately, the stock was hard to borrow today, whereas the last couple of days, it was easy to borrow and a great short. And today, it ended up kind of dropping off after the market opened up. No surprise there, given the direction that it made in pre-market. But no surprise here at this point, and it's not even as if Bitcoin popped up as much. Today is a Wednesday. We will get to Bitcoin at the end of this meeting, but this ended up making a huge pop. Perhaps you can call it a short squeeze, a dead cat bounce, whatever you may phrase it. Ended up making this parabolic move up where it ended up breaking above resistance off of 8, ended up getting halted on the way up, and then from that point, unfortunately, flopped. So ended up crapping out. We weren't able to capitalize on the short trade or on the short side of this trade today like we were back from yesterday and then back from Monday of the afternoon, right? We were talking about this. If it crapped out the other way, which it did off of 9, this was like one of our better trades Monday afternoon. So unfortunately, it's hard to borrow today, but definitely still going to keep this on the side list at a minimum. The BTBT trade. Anytime you see Bitcoin move, I would jump to this right away. All right, my Tilray trade's back to 1620. It looks like it just ended up approaching an order. I don't know. I can't tell this, and I can't show my level 4 right now, unfortunately. But it almost seems as if an order got pulled at 1620. Oh, no. It got filled. And here, you know what? The way that I could tell, no better place to look than the tape right here, time and sales. A lot of prints coming in off the 1620. So if it could re-break that price, perhaps we'll get a cleaner run up now. But still looking pretty good on Tilray. It's already on our list. ZME, not a whole lot going on there on the chart. Familiar name, AUPH. Haven't really traded this stock in a little while, but familiar name. Over the years, we ended up calling this stock out off of news. I don't know how it will look on the monthly chart, perhaps, but so I started back in October of 14. So this stock ended up making a big pop back in early of 2017. Ended up popping going back into the end of 2019. Little wiggle here, I guess. I don't think we really traded it back there, but on occasion we've traded the stock and it's made some really big moves for us in the past. So right now today it's up 21.5%. It's near the highs. It has good volume on the books. So yeah, we'll put this on our list too. Got a familiar name here at least, TIGR, Tiger, and I called this out earlier saying that it was approaching the highs of the day. Right over here at the time, unfortunately pulled back, but it's still looking all right. I mean, looking at the direction of the stock, clearly it's up. It's built a lower high, so it's like kind of in this range now, but has been moving up all across the morning into the afternoon. So certainly we hope to see that direction continue. If I'm not mistaken, and I could be, please let me know if I'm wrong on this, but I think that Tiger is a China-based stock. I know it ended up taking a huge hit at the same time as a lot of the others, like TME, IQ, the HUYA trade, all the education companies, mind you, as well. So I could be wrong on that, but seeing some of them up today and this up also, that's my bet. I don't know. Bill says yes. All right. I like to be right, so I'm happy about that. Good. I wasn't fully confident on that, Bill. How about that, Bill, earlier? And I don't want to dive too much into that. I had a hell of a guess earlier. Bill played a game with me saying, what movie came out today in 1978? I don't know. I was born in 91. I have no idea. Now, I shot from the hip on this. I guessed, and I guessed to myself, and I said, Animal House? And lo and behold, that was right. That was pretty freaky there, Bill. Little chat going on during the trading room today. All right, so we'll keep it going. My scanners just refreshed on me here. Tiva had a nice morning today. Still holding strong right now. Put it right on our list here. Another familiar name. We ended up trading this stock, well, we have in the past with the other pharmas that it trades with. ENDP is one of them. It's not as strong today, a little bit slower. Mylan, MYL. Ooh, they delisted. I don't know when they delisted. Maybe they changed ticker. Not as in tune with Mylan, I guess. But yeah, Tiva we'll put on our list, definitely. That stock had great liquidity on the book. It's a familiar name to a lot of us inside the trading room here. Doesn't really seem like there's a huge order on the ask. Looks like almost like it could be out. Oh, right as I say that, it shuts me up. A 65,000 share iceberg just popped up. 46,000 of those shares are routed through the EdgeX. Right on cue. Perfect timing. You never know what you're going to get here in this meeting. So we'll keep it going here. Jinko Solar at the highs today. We always talk about this more as a swing trade, but with it at the highs, a little expensive, but I'll slap it on our list here at the bottom. And talk about expensive, PDD. Canon, CAN, this stock ended up making a nice run with the Bit Digital trade earlier. BTBT ended up making a nice slingshot from like 625, 630 level. I sat on my hands on this as it broke over 7. I hate to say that because it made for a really clean move. I expected a false breakout and popped right over 7. I never got in and just made for a really easy trade from that point, really. All right, so we'll keep it going here. We'll see what else we got on the gainer side before we hop over to the losers. Lee LI, EV stock, if I'm not mistaken, ended up running up nicely, 28 up towards 30.50. It's right there now. All right, Lee, come on down. All right, we'll see what we got with the other EV stocks though too. And Lee, I know, is another China-backed company too. So NEO, looks like China stocks altogether are doing pretty nicely here so far. NEO's up pretty nicely. We were talking about XPEV yesterday. That's not really looking that great right now. Jump back to NEO at least. My platform kind of slowing up here a little bit. Yeah, NEO doesn't look too bad. It's up 5.5+% on the way up to the highs right now. And for a $41, $42 stock, has really good volume on the book. I'd love to see that. So, you know what? If I put Lee on our list, I may as well put NEO. All right, Bill says space is at the high of the day. Let me just go down the rest of the gainer side here. I'll jump to that. Then I'll jump to the losers list next. NCTY looking garbage right now. I didn't mean to click this. All right, so let me just check out that space trade. See what we have there. Ooh, wow, that's a really nice move, Bill. Great call. I don't know how much it's up percentage-wise, 4+% right now. But either way, nice steady move up so far. I don't know if there's news out on it. Let me just double check. Oh no, is this another afternoon where we have like a 30 stock watch list for me here? Unfortunately, what Fausto does a lot better than me is he keeps it really simple. You know, if there is a very active market, he does a really great job of just chopping it down to a list of like 5 or 6, maybe 7 stocks. You know, I like to see the opportunity in a lot of trades, so at times I'll build up a lot bigger of a list. Doesn't mean that we're going to trade every one of those stocks, but you know, I would say start with a couple of them, then kind of work together in a team like we do here inside the live trading room, and we'll kind of, you know, cherry pick the best moves. But space, let's see. They had a report following, or earlier report, Jeff Bezos offers NASA $2 billion for a lunar lander contract. Benzinga Pro notice, Virgin Galactic is viewed as competitor, yada, yada, yada. That's all I got here. That's the only news blurb that I have out on space, at least as of, you know, yesterday. But hey, don't mind it. Right now, definitely a great move. Just wanted to see if there was a headline out there, but I guess not. And a follow-up on Mylan. Bill follows up saying Mylan merged with VRTS back in November of 20. Had a couple of bigger fish to fry back in 2020, right? So that was on the back burner, I guess. I didn't really realize that until right now. All right, so let's hop over to the losers list, see what we have on that side of the field. And when I say bigger fish to fry, I meant COVID. a lot bigger things to worry about then, right? So I wasn't as in tune with MYL at the time. Man, this HLMP, I wasn't in tune with this stock until today, but damn, this thing got beat up. Ended up taking a huge drop off. If I'm not mistaken, this had pharma news. If I'm not mistaken. Let me double check on that. But HLMP, what we have on here. Oh, no pharma news. It was in relation to their quarterly dividend. They ended up cutting their dividend from 44 cents to a penny. Yeah, so the street really didn't take that too kindly. Ended up, you know, getting crushed early in the pre-market. A little squeeze up after the open. My initial thought on this, I guess, would have worked out. I didn't really focus on this after the market opened up, but in pre-market, this stock reminded me of another trade. I forgot the ticker at this point, but I was expecting this exact move where it popped up at the open, ended up topping off. I forgot the level I was looking at, but ended up diving right back down after. It's right at the lows right now. It's shortable. So the only thing that's kind of like detracting me from this trade is just the liquidity. So thin. It's like I don't really need to trade a stock like that heading into the end of the day, but I love the direction, moving pretty nicely. A quick check-in on Tilray while we're at it. That's also moving pretty nicely. Don't want to jinx it, though. All right, what's this? DYAI is easy to borrow. I didn't realize that until the morning. Guess there wasn't really much to take. About 30 cents, but wow, Cheesecake Factory got beat up too, huh? So I don't know if this is earnings based. I know that we're basically in the middle of earnings season right now. So that would be my assumption. And yeah, Cheesecake Factory, they ended up beating their estimate on the EPS. They ended up beating their estimate on the sales too. What the hell? Why are they down so much? I have no idea why Cheesecake's down as much. My only belief is that they had to have lowered guidance. Yeah, yep, that's exactly it. Now I'm seeing a quick headline right now. They had an outperform rating, but the firm expects margin guidance to build above 2019 levels. But there has to be more to it. Nonetheless, this stock ended up taking a huge drop overnight into the market open today. It's near the lows. It has good liquidity for a $48, $49 stock too. So it doesn't mean we're going to trade it, but I don't mind putting this on our list for right now, keeping a small focus on it. Zoom in on this here pretty quick. Looks like it ended up popping and then dropping pretty quickly from right around 48.75-ish and then pulled back to the 50-cent level right now. So I would look for some selling. Probably going to see it more on the retail end of the tape, but if you're interested in this trade as more of a level 3 to 4 stock, I would watch that 48.50 to see if that breaks down again. All right, so the market's up and the market's now squeezing back up after the FOMC. I don't really expect for there to be a whole lot on the loser side otherwise. So, folks, let me know if there's anything up, down, left, or right more than 5% that you would want me to look at. Check out pretty quickly before we close out the show. I'll tell you, my Benzinga Pro Signals page is flying in green right now. It is ripping green. That doesn't mean like there's going to be a ton of opportunity, but let's see what we have. It's probably so fast right now. I see Sorrento at the highs of the day. I saw MMAT at the high of the day earlier. I had a call out on Wish, and I saw that previously earlier during this meeting at the highs here, popped up. Man, there's just so many stocks that are at the highs or breaking higher as we speak. So let's just check out a couple right now, at least from that list. Sorrento at the high of the day doesn't mean that it's a great trade, right? It's up 5.5%. It's at the highs, but we've seen the stock trade a lot better. It's had a lot better volatility to it in a good way. Volatility for us to capitalize on as a day trade, at least. OCGN, same thing. Like, they look good, like stocks in terms of the charts, in terms of the volume on the book, but you want to see them move faster. This Wish stock is like watching the paint dry. Norman says the list is going to have 40 stocks on it. Let's get a quick tally while we're at it, Norman. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 stocks so far. Not terrible. I like to max out at 12. No more than 12. You got NNVC pop from Debbie. Let's see. Nah, that's got nothing going on there, Debbie, unfortunately. From above, I'm got to go from bottom to top on the chat board. From Leda saying Clove going anywhere, or is it just teasing? Yeah, it's like the same thing as the others. Like, it's at the highs, looks maybe like it could possibly potentially move, but at the same time as you hear that, a lot of ambiguous words in that sentence, right? So FLGC, let's take a look. There we go. Nice pop. There we go. About time. It's already on our list, right? So this one already made the cut in hopes of this exact move. And there we go. We might be getting a halt soon, folks. Is anybody in this trade right now on YouTube or inside the trading room? Well, let me know. RJF, if you're in on YouTube. RJF on YouTube says 91. OMG, I'm old. I started out young because, and well, I guess I'll save that for another day. But I came into CTU RJF with zero trading experience. I didn't know what a short was. Maybe I'll share my story on YouTube one day. I've done that, of course, for all of us live inside Cyber Group. Says not in. That's unfortunate. It's all right. It made such a fast pop, and it was so shaky beforehand. So I was saying to you folks to be reluctant on it, to at least try and enter, but set the stop right away. I mean, just in case if it makes a false breakout. But RJF on YouTube. Oh man, he says I have a pair of sneakers and a belt older than you. This is where I'll say, and not just to RGF, but to anybody, and for all of us in the trading room too, it doesn't matter how much years of experience one has in the stock market. It does, but it's to say, if someone's a jack of all trades for 20 years, they're not a master of one craft. So we have folks that join our live trading room each and every week that have 20, 30 years of experience in the market, but it's very inconsistent experience. Maybe they traded here and there, they ended up losing, then they came back a couple of years later, they tried options, they did all right, then they broke off for 5 years, then they came back. That doesn't make you an experienced trader. So, I say this to everybody, just try and do your best on a day-to-day basis, whether it's options, futures, Forex, day trading like we do. You have to be a good student to become a great trader in general. All right. So, folks, I got to get to Bitcoin here because I promised Monday, Wednesday, Friday at least. Not a whole lot really to write home about on the Bitcoin front, at least from the last time we caught up with it back on Monday. But we ended up seeing a bit of a squeeze back up here for right now, so I'm hopeful that we'll continue to see a lot more. But I told you folks back from Friday of last week that if it ends up popping, it's going to begin to pull back. It hasn't yet. I expect it to. So if it does, perhaps I'll add more. In fact, for any of our crypto followers here of mine, at least, I told you folks a long while back that my biggest bag is Cardano ADA. Last night, I ended up adding a bit more to that bag, and from practically where it's at right now, no, like 127 my entry price was. So we'll see. I'm very bullish, that long term. All right, but nonetheless, if Bitcoin drops, I may look to add even more on the Bitcoin front, and then see where we go. But otherwise, that's why we're seeing the movement in Riot, Mara, Cannon, the BTBT trade today. Kind of lackluster so far. All right, there we go. Leda, nice catch on the FLGC trade. She got 20 cents on it, in and out quick. Missed it from the pop off 8, but out just in time before the big shake back down. She got 20 cents on it here. Nice. All right, at the horn from Doug, we got GOVX. Where's Mitch today? GOVX, nice pop here. I would like to see a little bit more out of it before this gets called out again. What do I think of AMD off of earnings from yesterday, if I'm not mistaken? A little too expensive for us, but given its price, really good volume on the books. So I like to see that. Looks like it's kind of peeling back. Did AMD break all-time highs today? Second, I realized it was at 97. I'm like, that's all-time high territory. 98.97 is the all-time high on AMD from January this year. So that's all I'll say there, Bonnie. I don't expect it to run higher into the close today, but perhaps tomorrow, on a gap up, might break all-time highs. We'll see. All right, folks, for all of us on social media, unless if this is your first time joining me, in which I say welcome aboard. But otherwise, you folks know the deal. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification icon right on our YouTube channel, that being youtube.com/cybertradingu. Otherwise, if you've yet to join us live inside our trading room, go right down to the link on the banner below just to get yourself started on a small trial. But for all of us there right now, like Bill, Leda, Norman, and all of us otherwise, I'll be back on the mic in just about 10 minutes. Rich is going to get things started for us pretty shortly. I got to refill up the water bottle and catch my breath here. So I'll be back on. Give me about 10 or 15 minutes, but both of us together will be taking you into the market close. Talk to you soon.